All right, Cole, coming right back to you. So, if you haven't noticed, guys, there's been a little bit of beef going on between two teams. We got Sean Payton going at some of the Jets offensive coordinators, which is Nathaniel Hackett, and he's saying things like he did the worst coaching job. So we have to know, out of both of those quarterbacks on teams, we have the Broncos and the Jets, what quarterback has more pressure on them coming into this season?
You know, when we talk about this question, or even when we had that first initial episode that we didn't drop, there was one quarterback that you were adamant that has been overrated throughout his whole career, and that would be the one and only Russell Wilson. And I think we could have said that last year he had the most pressure because he had his own parking spot, had his own office, and we all saw what happened during the season. Man completely just did not show up. 3,500 yards, 16 TDs, 11 interceptions. And how does Denver bounce back? They signed two linemen for him to improve the line. And I think the biggest thing is they bring in Sean Payton, which is one of the greatest play callers in our generation that we've ever seen. So I think by those two facts alone, if Russell Wilson does not get the job done now, because the thing is with the Jets and Aaron Rodgers is the mere fact that Aaron Rodgers is going there, I think they will succeed. But even if they make the playoffs and they win a playoff game, I think it'll be okay, even though like they're in New York and the media will come after him, all this other stuff. But New York hasn't had success in I don't know how long. Denver won the Super Bowl less than 10 years ago. And they've had success before in the 90s with Elway, Sharp, and Terrell Davis and all them. So Russell Wilson just got paid 5 years over 200 mil. Aaron Rodgers did warrant a lot going to the New York Jets by demanding a trade and bringing his boys with him, but he took a pay cut too. He's already changing the culture. I don't think that Russell Wilson is giving me that same type of energy. I mean, I think if Russell Wilson does not really show up, I think it'll open. I mean, your eyes are already open to him being overrated, but it'll truly open to everyone's eyes that the Legion of Boom really just flat out carried him, and he made the question mark of him being a first ballot Hall of Famer will have to come because even right now, I don't know if he's first ballot, but if he doesn't get it done this year, if they don't make, nah, bro, he gotta make playoffs, bro. You get paid $200 million, you gotta make playoffs. I'm sorry.
To be brutally honest, Russell Wilson, as good as he is not a Hall of Famer. And I know that may sound crazy to the I don't mind, but I have a rule about picking quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame. If you have to think about it, they don't belong there. Because when you know quarterback's a Hall of Famer, you really don't have to question anything about what they've done. When you think about the context of when Russell Wilson was brought to Denver, the whole thing was he's supposed to be the savior. We have everything else. We got the receivers. We have a good running back. We have everything. We insert Russell Wilson, we're automatically supposed to be a better team. That was not the case last year. He was 27th in QBR. He threw 11 interceptions, like you said. And I think a lot of pressure is on him because if you look at this, because we just got done talking about Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett. If Aaron Rodgers has a great season with Nathaniel Hackett and Russell Wilson has a bad season with Sean Payton, what are we looking at then? Then he's not a Hall of Famer. I think Russell Wilson has the most pressure on him because his replacement in Seattle already outplayed him last season. Geno Smith had a way better season than Russell Wilson. And then when they met head to head, he beat him. You had what are we going on? Like, what is going on?
Bro, honestly,
Russell,
wait. I don't mean to cut you off, but Seattle could have lost every other game. Then winning that one game in the fashion that they did, bro, that was the craziest opener I've seen.
Exactly. You had Geno Smith over here giving one-liners like they wrote me off and I didn't write back. Like you had the craziest things going on. All of the pressure is on Russell Wilson. He's one of the only quarterbacks I know that looks like a top 5 MVP candidate through the first 5 weeks, and we forget who he is come postseason time. he has to play good this season. All of his, to me, he has the most to gain. To me, it's not Aaron Rodgers because Aaron Rodgers, to me, is already solidified. He's already a Hall of Famer. He has a Super Bowl, and you can genuinely say the past maybe 5 or 6 seasons, the Packers have been relevant because of Aaron Rodgers. You look at Russell Wilson. I mean, he was behind Pete Carroll, who is an extremely good coach, and one of the best modern defenses we've ever seen. And only won one Super Bowl with that. Because, I mean, we all know what he did on the 1-yard line, which is really his fault. We don't know who caught that play. But, I mean, he only has the one Super Bowl. To me, if he wins this, like, he kind of breaks that mold and he becomes a Hall of Famer. So I think Russell Wilson has the most pressure on him because he has the most to gain.
That's fair. Do you think that he will? That's the second part to it. Do you think he will?
No, he won't. He won't. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad. It's gonna be sad because I really don't believe Russell Wilson. Look, I'm not gonna say he's a bad player. He's not good. I mean, he's obviously a good quarterback. He's made plays when it mattered. But I mean, to say that he's gonna come out the AFC is insane. Is insanity. Because I mean, I just don't think he can. Will they make the playoffs? Is interesting. The fact that we're here says a whole lot. This was a team who was predicting to go in the AFC Championship last year. A lot of people were saying this is the team that goes here. We're talking about if they're going to make the playoffs or not with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but the thing is,
it's crazy.
It's not the defense we have to worry about. It's the offense. Sean Payton should get that right. O-line should be no problems because they spent money on the O-line. It's really just going to come down to this man, Russell Wilson, to see how Sean Payton can.
And if Sean Payton can't fix him, no one can. I'm just being real. Sean Payton went through a stretch where he had Teddy Bridgewater looking like the greatest thing since Drew Brees. He had Taysom Hill looking like the greatest thing since Drew Brees. So if he can't fix him, no one can. Literally, no one can. And so I think it has to be the most pressure on Russell Wilson. I don't think it's really anybody else. It's tough. It's really tough for him.
Very tough.
What are your expectations for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets?
I think they can win a playoff game. I expect them to win a playoff game. I expect them to be divisional.
I think you don't think it's like a perfect match, kind of like with Stafford and the Rams? You don't see that correlating like that?
Do I see Super Bowl? I mean, I can see championship game. Because it's just Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, I granted.
So if the Jets met the Bengals in the playoffs, you picking Bengals 100%, no matter how they got there.
Sure.
Yeah.
See, bro, I seen Burrow win the Arrowhead, so I mean, I think the Bengals probably.
I don't rate that either.
But then again, that Jets defense is legit though.
It's crazy. And Sauce Gardner he's not a joke. It's real. It really is real. I didn't know what to expect out of college. I know he was really good, but I didn't expect him to be like, you may not even like touch the ball good. Because what he did to Justin Jefferson was insane. And he's supposedly the best receiver in the NFL. So I mean it's tough to see. It's tough to see.